Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Curtis Peters. I'm a corporal with the RCMP, spokesperson for Southern Alberta District here. Yesterday, March 8th, at about 4:40 p.m., Okotoks RCMP were notified by the principal of Okotoks Junior High School of a possible threat made to the school students and staff. A student reported to the principal that they had overheard a conversation between other students in which a threat was made. The principal, Leah Kingston, immediately notified the RCMP and the school division administrators for the Foothills School Division. As a precautionary measure, the decision was made to close the school today while our investigation takes place. The Okotoks RCMP is actively investigating this threat, and the investigation is being led by the Okotoks RCMP General Investigation Section. In order to protect the integrity of this investigation, the very specific nature of the threat will not be made public. I can tell you that at no point in time were there any students or members of the public or staff of the school at risk. We understand that this is a very stressful event for the students and the families of the students and for this community. I want to assure all of you that the RCMP takes this type of threat very seriously, and that every investigative avenue will be pursued in order to fully and completely investigate this threat. Safety of the students and the children is the utmost concern, and that is why the precaution was taken of closing this particular school today. The reopening of the school will be something that will be discussed between the school administration and the RCMP. I'm going to now turn the floor over to John Bailey, Superintendent of the Schools for the Foothills School Division, and then following his statement we can take a few questions together.
Thanks very much, Curtis. So you got a lot of the details from Curtis. Basically, I would say that we value the relationship we have with the local RCMP, and we will continue to work in partnership with them as we maintain a safe learning environment for our students and our staff. Our school and our school division is committed to safety, and that's why we have closed the school for the day out of an abundance of caution and wanting to be diligent. The RCMP, as was mentioned, is now actively investigating, so I will not comment on that investigation in any way. And at this point in time, I cannot tell you exactly when the school will reopen, but we will make that decision cooperatively with the RCMP. So that's kind of it from my perspective. Now, if there are questions, I get the easy ones, Curtis gets the hard ones. How's that?
What's your message to parents? Obviously, this must have rippled through the community quite strongly. What's your message as to what they should be doing right now with their children and as they prepare for whatever comes next?
So are you talking parents specifically at that school or in the
junior
whole
high school, and also it's kitty corner or very close to the elementary school as well?
So our message to parents is we do care about the safety of your students and your children, and that's why we're doing this. We will keep parents informed. We have an automated system that we can contact parents with, which is what we used last night, as well as obviously relying on the local media outlets. And so we will, as we have information to share, we will keep parents informed. And I would just assure them that until ourselves and the RCMP are satisfied that the school is safe, that's when we'll reopen it.
Can you speak to some of the precautions that are being taken at the elementary school as well? Because, like Doug pointed out, it is kitty corner to there, and just wondering if the threat is there as well, or the potential of a threat there as well.
I think that's probably a joint question.
Yeah, so as John said,
I need you to move over a little more.
Yeah. So you'll see an increased police presence around town while this investigation takes place. We have additional officers making some additional patrols. You'll see them out and about in the area. But the nature of the threat was specific to this particular school. We don't have any reason to believe that the threat extends to other schools in the area, other school divisions or anything like that. That's why the decision was made to only focus on this particular school, and that's why it was closed.
You mentioned a student overheard another student. Does that mean you've made headway into discerning exactly what had transpired and the people responsible? And do we need to turn the light on? Turn that back on. We'll turn that on. How far along in the investigation, considering how it seems like someone overheard someone they might have known? How far along are you in this investigation? And we noticed a K-9 unit at the school this morning.
So the K-9 unit, I'll address that part of the question first. The K-9 unit was brought in.
Can we start that again, sorry?
Sure. Can we figure out the light?
It's acting on its own here.
Are we good now?
Yeah, we're good.
Everyone hold their breath. Can we start with the K-9 unit again, sorry?
So the K-9 unit, you would have seen the K-9 officer at the school earlier today. It was brought in to do a perimeter search at the school, as well as searching inside the school to make sure there wasn't any people or potential threats in the school. The next question I'm sure you'll have is if it was whether the threat then involved a bomb because we had the dog there. No, this was not a bomb threat. Okay, I'll give you that much of information about the threat. The dog was just brought in as one more tool in our tool belt to help us investigate this threat.
So, Mr. Bailey, have there been threats at school, precedents of threats at school? And if so, what triggered you to close the school at this time rather than previous lesser threats, so to say?
Right. So fortunately, and it's a good thing, this is a very rare occurrence for us in schools to have a threat against the safety of staff and our students. And in fact, I've been in the division for 2.5 years. This is the first time this kind of level of threat has come up. Talking to staff in the division, we have to go back a number of years to get any kind of a threat where we would evacuate a school. For us, the big decision was on the advice and the discussion with the RCMP as they investigate, and again, erring on the side of caution and safety. That's what made the decision to close the school.
And have you seen a drop in attendance at other schools today, at Percy Pegler, Westmount, Big Rock, other schools?
I can't answer that for sure because I've been a little busy, but I expect that we've heard that some parents have chosen to keep their children home. That's fine. It's always a parental decision.
Okay, thank you.
Have you talked to any people of interest yet? Do you know whom you're looking for?
I won't get into the specifics about who we're talking to. I'll tell you though that we're furthering the investigation. The investigation is well in hand, and the members of the General Investigation Section are conducting numerous interviews in order to further the investigation.
Corporal Peters, surely you can understand that maybe some parents and some people in the area, though, their minds might wander about what the threat is. So I'm wondering if you can give us any kind of indication of, what the sort of plan, might have been, or can you give us any insight into the threat?
The threat, no, I can't get into the specifics of the threat because of my concern to protect the integrity of the investigation. The more information about it that goes out, the more potential there is for the wrong persons to be identified, right? At this point, we have a very small group of people who would know what exactly was said, and I intend to keep it that way so that we find the right people responsible.
So you said people, persons, so you're not looking for a single person, you're looking for possibly multiple people, or talking with multiple people?
We're talking to multiple people, yes. We're talking to lots of different people in the investigation. I said that it was a conversation that the complainant overheard. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Bailey, when and how were parents notified, and when will they be notified in the future of upcoming events?
So parents were notified late yesterday that we would be closing the school. We used our automated call-out system, so that's a very efficient system that places a phone call to parent phone numbers. It also sends an email. We also contacted local media to make sure they would get the information out about the closure of the school. We will use the same kind of mechanisms. We also put information on our website. We use Facebook, we use Twitter. We will use the same kind of process to give updates to parents as we learn more information.
And was that done shortly after 4:40 yesterday?
It would have been done shortly after 6 last night.
Thank you.
Corporal Peters, just if the complainant saw who made threats and saw the identities of who made the threats, where does the complication lie in who to interview and who to ask questions?
I can't really get into that one too terribly much. As I said earlier, just had an interest in protecting the integrity of the investigation. The complainant's been interviewed, and other interviews are taking place as well.
Just one final for me. We are told to be very careful about these types of threats and what we publicize. Was there something inherent in what was overheard that required a response like this?
We take any threat to the safety of a school or students seriously. This one was considered to be viable enough that we felt it should be out of an abundance of caution that the school should be closed. And this has been done through cooperation between our two agencies, between the RCMP and the school division. We've had great communication between the two, great cooperation, and the decision was made to close the school out of an abundance of caution.
Last one from me for Mr. Bailey. Had there been any activity on campus in the past weeks or months that were worrying? Just thinking of the kind of political climate we're in these days, that kind of thing.
No, nothing abnormal at all. Whenever you get 600 junior high students in one place, there's always a few things, but nothing abnormal, nothing like this.
How important do you think it is for the message to get to the students today, not to be gossiping, not to be spreading wrong information? Is that something you guys will be talking about when school returns?
Go ahead, you go first, John.
Yes, that would be something the administration would talk to with the students about. I would say it's very important, again, referring back to integrity of an investigation. It's very important if students or families hear something, that they contact the RCMP with that information. That is always a help. Absolutely, we'll be doing some follow-up. We will have counseling available when school resumes, if students or staff need that service. And yeah, that's, from our perspective at the school, that's the answer.
John, what's the chances of school opening again tomorrow at this point at OJ?
It's too early to say. It really is. We'll know more later today. As was referred to, the RCMP is investigating. There's ongoing conversations. They've been great about working with us. Communication is very open between us, and so we will make that assessment as information becomes available. And we will let parents know as soon as we know what the decision is, so that they can make plans either to have a school lunch made or do something else.
So there's a potential it could be open tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Can you speak on the charges that might be pending if this were to get that far?
It's too soon to say that at this point in time. We have to wait for the investigation to be completed before we can decide what charges would be appropriate. I don't want to speculate on something like that at this point. Anybody else? Okay. Thanks everyone for coming. We
Thank you
appreciate
very
you
much.
helping get the message out.